Welcome back to Coins Numismatic Series. If you think all pennies are only worth 1 cent, today's episode is going to change your mind completely. In 2009, the United States Mint released a special collection of Lincoln Cents unlike anything seen before or since, celebrating the 200th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth and the 100th anniversary of the Lincoln Cent itself. While millions of these coins entered circulation, a surprising number have become valuable collectibles, with rare varieties and high-grade examples selling for hundreds and even thousands of dollars. Stay with us as we uncover the history, remarkable designs, hidden errors, and real market values that make these pennies some of the most exciting modern coins collectors search for today. 2009 Bicentennial Birth and Early Childhood Penny. The story of the 2009 Bicentennial Birth and Early Childhood Penny begins with two historic anniversaries that came together in a single year. In 1809, Abraham Lincoln was born in a humble one-room log cabin in Hardin County, Kentucky, now known as LaRue County. 200 years later, the United States Mint honored Lincoln's remarkable journey by creating 4 unique reverse designs that would tell the story of his life. At the same time, 2009 marked 100 years since the Lincoln Cent first entered circulation in 1909, making it one of the most meaningful commemorative coin programs in modern American history. Unlike ordinary Lincoln Cents, which carried the Lincoln Memorial reverse from 1959 through 2008, the Bicentennial Series replaced that familiar design with 4 completely different scenes, each representing a major chapter of Lincoln's life. The first release celebrated his birth and early childhood, reminding Americans that one of the nation's greatest presidents came from the simplest of beginnings. The reverse design captures the modest log cabin where Abraham Lincoln spent the earliest years of his life. This cabin is intentionally simple, reflecting the hardships and determination of frontier families during the early 19th century. Surrounding the image are the inscriptions United States of America, E Pluribus Unum, and 1 cent. At the bottom appears the year 1809, commemorating Lincoln's birth. The reverse was designed by Richard Masters and sculpted by Jim Licoretz. Every detail was carefully chosen to communicate the humble environment that shaped Lincoln's character. Rather than emphasizing wealth or political success, the design celebrates perseverance, honesty, and hard work, qualities that later became closely associated with Lincoln himself. The obverse retained Victor David Brenner's iconic portrait of Abraham Lincoln, a design first introduced in 1909. Although collectors had seen this portrait for a century, the 2009 coins featured one important addition. For the first time in Lincoln Cent history, the motto, "In God We Trust," appeared larger and more prominently positioned above Lincoln's portrait, giving the coin a refreshed appearance while preserving its classic identity. Another feature that makes these pennies unique is their composition. Circulation strikes produced at Philadelphia and Denver continued using the copper-plated zinc alloy introduced in 1982. These coins weigh approximately 2.5 grams and contain a zinc core covered by a thin layer of copper. However, collectors could also purchase special numismatic versions struck in an alloy matching the original 1909 Lincoln Cents. These special collector editions contain 95% copper and 5% tin and zinc, weighing approximately 3.11 grams. Because of their higher copper content and limited production, these collector strikes are especially desirable today. The Philadelphia Mint produced approximately 284.4 million birth and early childhood cents, while the Denver Mint struck around 350.4 million examples. These mintages may seem enormous, but they are significantly lower than many Lincoln Cents produced during previous decades, helping fuel collector interest from the moment they were released. San Francisco also produced proof versions for annual proof sets. These mirror-like coins display exceptional detail and sharpness, making them favorites among collectors seeking the finest possible examples. Although millions entered circulation, relatively few survived in perfect condition. Modern coins often receive heavy contact marks during production, transportation, and circulation. As a result, examples grading mint state 67 or higher become increasingly difficult to locate. Collectors place significant importance on professional grading. Coins certified by major grading services receive numerical grades ranging from poor 1 to mint state 70. Even a single point increase in grade can dramatically affect value. Circulated examples of the birth and early childhood penny generally remain worth only face value to a few cents. Attractive, uncirculated pieces can often sell for $1 to $5 depending on their condition and mint mark. Coins graded MS-65 commonly bring between $10 and $20. Examples achieving MS-66 frequently command $25 to $50, while superb MS-67 pieces often reach $100 or more. The greatest premiums are reserved for exceptionally preserved coins with outstanding eye appeal. Certified MS-68 examples have sold for several $100s, with some auction records exceeding $1,000 when competition among collectors is especially strong. These prices demonstrate how condition can transform an ordinary 1-cent coin into an impressive collectible. Proof versions also carry premiums. Standard proof coins generally sell for several dollars in their original government packaging, while flawless proof 69 and proof 70 examples certified by grading services can command substantially higher prices. One reason collectors remain fascinated by the 2009 Bicentennial Cents is the number of striking errors that have appeared over the years. Although most coins left the mint exactly as intended, mistakes occasionally occurred during production, creating highly collectible varieties. Off-center strikes remain among the most popular. When the planchet is not perfectly positioned beneath the dies, part of the design may be missing. Depending on how dramatically the coin is off-center while still displaying its date, values can range from $50 to several $100s. Broad strikes also attract attention. These occur when the retaining collar fails during striking, allowing the metal to spread outward beyond its intended diameter. The resulting coin appears wider than normal while maintaining full design details. Double strikes represent another fascinating error. A coin accidentally struck twice may display overlapping images that immediately capture collector interest. Strong double strikes often command several $100s or more depending on their appearance. Die cracks form as striking dies develop stress fractures after repeated use. These cracks leave raised lines across the finished coin. Minor examples are relatively common, but dramatic die cracks stretching across major design elements can generate significant premiums. Die chips occur when small fragments break away from the die, leaving raised blobs of metal on the coin. While many die chips add only modest value, unusual or visually dramatic examples often become popular with error collectors. Clipped planchets occur before striking when the blanking press overlaps previously punched metal, leaving a curved section missing from the edge of the coin. Genuine clips accompanied by proper striking characteristics are highly collectible and frequently sell for well over $100. Another category includes retained cuts and major die breaks. As dies deteriorate, larger pieces may break away, producing raised areas where design elements disappear. These spectacular errors are uncommon and eagerly pursued by specialists. Collectors should also examine each coin for repunched mint marks, though modern minting methods largely eliminated traditional varieties, as well as die deterioration doubling, which differs from true doubled dies but still interests some enthusiasts. One misconception involves ordinary machine doubling. This mechanical effect occurs during the striking process and generally carries little additional value. Understanding the difference between machine doubling and genuine doubled die varieties helps collectors avoid costly mistakes when purchasing coins. The popularity of the birth and early childhood penny extends beyond its rarity. It represents the beginning of Lincoln's extraordinary life story, allowing collectors to own the first chapter of a historic 4-coin series. Many enthusiasts enjoy assembling complete sets featuring all 4 reverse designs from both Philadelphia and Denver, along with proof and special copper collector editions. The coin also appeals to history lovers who appreciate its connection to Lincoln's humble origins. The simple log cabin serves as a reminder that greatness can emerge from the most modest circumstances, making the design meaningful beyond its numismatic value. When searching through rolls or collections, collectors should inspect every 2009 birth and early childhood cent carefully. Look for strong luster, minimal contact marks, sharp strike quality, attractive color, and any unusual mint errors. Even common examples become far more desirable when preserved in exceptional condition. Proper storage is equally important. Coins should be handled only by their edges and placed in archival quality holders to prevent scratches, fingerprints, and environmental damage. Maintaining original mint luster significantly enhances long-term collector value. As the years pass, more examples become worn, damaged, or lost, making premium quality survivors increasingly difficult to obtain. This gradual decline in available high-grade coins continues to support collector demand and strengthens the long-term appeal of the 2009 Bicentennial Birth and Early Childhood Penny. More than just a 1-cent coin, this remarkable issue represents the opening chapter of Abraham Lincoln's incredible journey from a small Kentucky log cabin to the White House. Its historical significance, beautiful design, collectible varieties, mint errors, and strong demand among modern coin enthusiasts ensure that it remains one of the most important Lincoln cents of the 21st century. Whether discovered in pocket change, inherited in a collection, or purchased in pristine certified condition, the 2009 Bicentennial Birth and Early Childhood Penny continues to prove that even the smallest coin can tell one of the greatest stories in American history. 2009 Bicentennial Formative Years Penny. The second coin in the remarkable 2009 Lincoln Bicentennial Series tells the story of a young Abraham Lincoln during the years that shaped his character, intelligence, and determination. While the first design celebrated his humble birth in a Kentucky log cabin, the Formative Years Penny moves the story westward to Indiana, where Lincoln spent much of his youth developing the qualities that would eventually make him one of America's greatest presidents. More than just another 1-cent coin, this design captures the moment when a curious frontier boy began transforming himself into an extraordinary leader through hard work and an unwavering desire to learn. Abraham Lincoln's family moved to southern Indiana in 1816 when he was only 7 years old. Life on the frontier was anything but easy. The family cleared forests by hand, built shelters, planted crops, and struggled against harsh winters and difficult living conditions. Formal education was rare, and Lincoln attended school for only short periods throughout his childhood. Historians estimate that his total classroom education amounted to less than 1 year. Yet despite these limitations, he developed an incredible passion for reading that would define the rest of his life. Books were scarce on the American frontier, making every volume a treasured possession. Lincoln borrowed books from neighbors whenever possible, often walking miles just to obtain another opportunity to read. He studied by the light of the fireplace after long days of physical labor, absorbing knowledge from every page. This dedication to self-education became one of the defining characteristics of his life and is beautifully reflected in the reverse design of the Formative Years Penny. The reverse features a young Abraham Lincoln sitting on a split log while taking a break from rail splitting. In one hand, he holds an axe, representing the demanding physical labor required on the frontier. In the other hand, he holds a book, symbolizing his relentless pursuit of knowledge. This contrast between hard work and education perfectly captures the balance that shaped Lincoln's future. The image reminds collectors that Lincoln's greatest achievements were not handed to him through privilege or wealth. Instead, they resulted from determination, discipline, and an extraordinary commitment to learning. Every detail of the design tells a story, from his simple frontier clothing to the unfinished logs surrounding him, emphasizing the rugged environment in which he matured. The reverse was designed by Charles Vickers and sculpted by Jim Licoretz. The artwork successfully combines historical accuracy with powerful symbolism, creating one of the most admired designs in the entire Bicentennial series. Many collectors consider it the most inspirational of the 4 reverses because it represents personal growth through education and perseverance. The obverse continues to feature Victor David Brenner's famous portrait of Abraham Lincoln, which first appeared in 1909. The familiar profile connects the commemorative reverse to a century of Lincoln cent history while maintaining consistency across all 4 bicentennial designs. The inscriptions include "Liberty," "In God We Trust," and the date 2009, along with the mint mark when applicable. Like the other circulation strike bicentennial cents, the Formative Years Penny was struck on copper-plated zinc planchets containing a zinc core covered with a thin layer of copper. Each circulation coin weighs approximately 2.5 grams and has a diameter of 19.05 millimeters. Collectors were also offered special numismatic versions struck in the original 1909 bronze composition, consisting of 95% copper with the remaining 5% made up of tin and zinc. These collector editions weigh approximately 3.11 grams and closely resemble the composition of the first Lincoln Cents issued a century earlier. Their richer color and heavier weight make them especially desirable among serious collectors. The Philadelphia Mint struck approximately 376 million formative years cents, while the Denver Mint produced nearly 363.6 million examples. Although these mintages are substantial, they remain lower than many regular Lincoln Cent issues produced during previous decades. Because millions entered circulation, many examples experienced wear almost immediately, reducing the number of coins that remain in pristine mint state condition today. The San Francisco Mint produced proof versions exclusively for annual proof sets. These coins received specially prepared dies and polished planchets, resulting in mirror-like fields and frosted design elements. Proof coins continue to enjoy strong collector demand because of their outstanding quality and limited production. At first glance, many circulated formative years since appear nearly identical. However, condition plays a tremendous role in determining market value. Even tiny contact marks, scratches, discoloration, or weak strikes can significantly reduce a coin's grade and its value. This is why collectors often search through thousands of examples hoping to discover one with exceptional preservation. Circulated examples generally remain worth face value or only slightly more. Attractive, uncirculated coins typically sell for $1 to $5 depending on their luster and overall appearance. Coins grading Mint State 65 often bring between $10 and $20, while Mint State 66 examples frequently command $25 to $60. As grades become more difficult to achieve, values increase dramatically. Certified Mint State 67 examples regularly sell for well over $100. Coins reaching Mint State 68 are extremely scarce because even the smallest imperfections prevent achieving such a high grade. Auction prices for these elite condition examples have reached several $100s and, in exceptional cases, exceeded $1,000 when demand is particularly strong. Proof coins display a similar pattern. Standard proof examples are widely available and affordable, but flawless proof 70 coins certified by professional grading services command substantial premiums because of their perfect preservation. One of the most exciting aspects of collecting modern Lincoln Cents involves searching for mint errors. While the overwhelming majority of formative years pennies were struck correctly, production mistakes occasionally occurred, creating fascinating collectibles that are often worth far more than ordinary examples. Off-center strikes remain among the most recognizable mint errors. These occur when the blank planchet is not perfectly aligned beneath the dies before striking. Depending on how much of the design remains visible, values can range from $50 to several $100s, or even more for dramatic examples. Broad strikes result when the retaining collar fails during striking. Without the collar restricting the metal's expansion, the coin spreads outward beyond its intended diameter. These unusual pieces are immediately recognizable and highly collectible. Double strikes occur when a coin receives more than one impression from the dies. If the second strike is significantly offset from the first, the resulting coin displays overlapping images that create one of the most dramatic error types sought by collectors. Clipped planchets are another fascinating production error. These occur before striking when the blanking press accidentally overlaps previously punched metal, leaving part of the coin missing. Authentic clipped planchets display distinctive characteristics that help experts distinguish genuine mint errors from post-mint damage. Die cracks develop after striking dies experience repeated stress. Small fractures gradually appear and transfer raised lines onto every coin struck afterward. Minor die cracks are relatively common, but large, dramatic cracks crossing major design elements attract much greater collector interest. Die chips occur when tiny pieces of the die break away, leaving raised blobs of metal on the finished coin. While many are small, larger die chips appearing on Lincoln's clothing, the axe, the book, or other prominent design elements often generate strong premiums among error collectors. Retained cuts and major die breaks represent more advanced stages of die failure. As larger portions of the die break away, significant sections of the coin become raised and lack normal design details. These spectacular errors are considerably scarcer than minor die cracks and often command impressive prices. Collectors should also examine each coin carefully for unusual strike characteristics, missing clad plating caused by copper plating defects, and wrong planchet errors. Although these are considerably rarer, coins accidentally struck on foreign planchets or planchets intended for other denominations have become some of the most valuable modern mint errors known. Many beginning collectors mistakenly believe every doubled appearance indicates a valuable doubled die. In reality, machine doubling is far more common and generally carries little premium. Learning to distinguish true doubled dies from mechanical doubling is an essential skill that helps collectors make informed purchasing decisions. The Formative Years penny has earned a special place among collectors because of its inspiring message. The image of a young Lincoln balancing an axe and a book reminds us that education and perseverance can overcome even the most difficult circumstances. This symbolism resonates with collectors around the world, making the coin far more meaningful than its 1-cent denomination suggests. The coin also represents an important chapter in American numismatic history. Never before had the Lincoln Cent featured 4 different reverse designs released within a single year to tell the story of one individual's life. This innovative approach transformed the familiar penny into a miniature historical series that appealed to experienced numismatists, beginning collectors, educators, and history enthusiasts alike. Today, many collectors continue searching bankrolls, estate collections, and dealer inventories for exceptional examples of the Formative Years penny. High-grade coins with blazing original luster, minimal contact marks, and sharp strikes remain difficult to locate, ensuring continued demand in the marketplace. Proper preservation remains essential for maintaining value. Collectors should always handle coins by their edges, avoid cleaning them under any circumstances, and store them in acid-free holders or certified grading slabs. Cleaning almost always damages the original surfaces and significantly reduces collector value, even when the coin appears brighter afterward. As time passes, fewer pristine examples remain available because circulation, mishandling, environmental exposure, and improper storage gradually diminish the surviving population of top-quality coins. This natural decline in supply continues to strengthen collector interest in premium examples. The 2009 Bicentennial Formative Years penny is much more than a circulating 1-cent coin. It tells the remarkable story of a young man whose hunger for knowledge helped shape the future of the United States. Through its thoughtful design, historical significance, collectible varieties, fascinating mint errors, and growing demand among collectors, this coin has become one of the standout issues of the modern Lincoln Cents series. For collectors, historians, and anyone inspired by Abraham Lincoln's extraordinary journey, the Formative Years penny remains a lasting reminder that greatness often begins with curiosity, determination, and the simple desire to keep learning. 2009 Bicentennial Professional Life penny. The third chapter in the remarkable 2009 Lincoln Bicentennial Series takes us from Abraham Lincoln's years of self-education into the period that transformed him into one of the most respected lawyers and influential political figures in American history. The 2009 Bicentennial Professional Life penny celebrates Lincoln's career before he became president, highlighting the determination, honesty, and dedication that earned him the nickname Honest Abe. While many people remember Lincoln for leading the nation through the Civil War, it was during these professional years that he developed the principles, legal expertise, and leadership skills that prepared him for the enormous challenges that lay ahead. After years of hard work on the Indiana frontier, Lincoln moved with his family to Illinois in 1830. Like many young men seeking opportunity, he accepted a variety of jobs to support himself. He worked as a farm laborer, rail splitter, store clerk, surveyor, and postmaster. Every position helped him develop practical experience and a deep understanding of ordinary Americans. These early occupations also strengthened his reputation for honesty and fairness, qualities that would become inseparable from his public image throughout his life. Lincoln's greatest ambition, however, was to become a lawyer. Without attending law school, he pursued the profession through independent study. He borrowed legal books, spent countless hours reading court decisions, and taught himself the principles of American law. His extraordinary discipline allowed him to pass the Illinois bar examination in 1836, proving that determination and education could overcome the limitations of a modest background. The reverse design of the professional life penny captures this important period of Lincoln's journey. It features a young Abraham Lincoln standing before the Illinois state capitol in Springfield. He is shown delivering a speech, symbolizing his emergence as both a respected attorney and an influential public servant. The Capitol building represents the center of Illinois government, where Lincoln built his legal and political career before eventually being elected the 16th President of the United States. Designed by Joel Iskowitz and sculpted by Don Everhart, the reverse combines historical accuracy with powerful symbolism. Lincoln's confident posture reflects the growth of a man who had progressed from frontier poverty to professional success through perseverance and education. The Illinois state capitol in the background serves as a reminder that his leadership abilities were developed long before he entered the White House. The inscriptions surrounding the design include United States of America, E pluribus unum, and 1 cent. Together with the detailed artwork, these elements create one of the most admired reverse designs in the entire Bicentennial series. Many collectors appreciate this coin because it highlights Lincoln's achievements through personal effort rather than political power, emphasizing the importance of integrity and lifelong learning. The obverse continues to feature Victor David Brenner's classic portrait of Abraham Lincoln that has appeared on the Lincoln Cent since 1909. The familiar profile connects the commemorative series with more than a century of American numismatic tradition. Alongside Lincoln's portrait appear the inscriptions Liberty, In God We Trust, the date 2009, and the appropriate mint mark. Like the previous bicentennial issues, Circulation Strike Professional Life pennies were produced using copper-plated zinc planchets. Each coin weighs approximately 2.5 grams, and measures 19.05 millimeters in diameter. Although the outer surface appears copper, the interior consists primarily of zinc, a composition adopted by the United States Mint in 1982 to reduce production costs. Collectors also had the opportunity to purchase special collector versions struck in the original bronze alloy used for the first Lincoln Cents in 1909. These premium coins contain 95% copper with the remaining 5% made up of tin and zinc, giving them a weight of approximately 3.11 grams. Their traditional composition and limited production make them highly desirable among serious numismatists. The Philadelphia Mint produced approximately 316 million professional life cents, while the Denver Mint struck roughly 336 million examples. Although hundreds of millions were released into circulation, many were quickly spent, stored improperly, or damaged through everyday use. As a result, high-grade survivors have become increasingly difficult to locate. The San Francisco Mint struck proof versions exclusively for annual proof sets. These specially manufactured coins feature deeply mirrored fields and frosted design elements created through carefully polished dies and specially prepared planchets. Proof examples continue to attract collectors because of their outstanding quality and sharp detail. While circulated professional life pennies generally remain worth only face value or slightly more, condition dramatically affects collector value. Coins retaining full original mint luster with minimal contact marks command significantly higher prices than worn examples. Because modern coins often acquire bag marks during transportation from the mint, locating pristine specimens is far more challenging than many collectors expect. Uncirculated examples commonly sell for $1 to $5 depending on their preservation. Coins certified as Mint State 65 frequently bring $10 to $20, while Mint State 66 examples often sell for $25 to $60. As grades continue to rise, prices increase substantially because fewer coins survive in nearly perfect condition. Professional grading services have certified relatively small numbers of Mint State 67 and Mint State 68 examples. These elite condition coins regularly sell for well over $100, with exceptional pieces reaching several $100s at auction. In particularly competitive sales, registry quality examples have exceeded $1,000, demonstrating the tremendous influence that condition has on modern coin values. Proof versions also vary according to quality. Standard proof coins remain affordable for most collectors, But flawless proof 70 examples certified by leading grading services command impressive premiums due to their perfect preservation and limited availability. One of the most exciting aspects of collecting the professional life penny involves searching for mint errors. Production mistakes occasionally escaped quality control and entered circulation, creating unusual coins that are now highly sought after by error collectors. Among the most popular are off-center strikes. These occur when the blank planchet is improperly positioned beneath the dies before striking. Depending on the percentage of the design missing and whether the date remains visible, values can range from $50 to several $100s. Broad strikes are another fascinating error. When the retaining collar fails to surround the planchet during striking, the metal spreads outward beyond its intended diameter. The resulting coin appears wider than normal while retaining complete design details. Double strikes occur when a coin accidentally receives two impressions instead of one. If the second strike is significantly offset, overlapping images create one of the most visually dramatic mint errors. Strong double strikes are scarce and can command several $100s or even more depending on their appearance. Clipped planchets originate before striking when the blanking press overlaps a previously punched area of metal, leaving a curved section missing from the finished coin. Authentic examples displaying proper error characteristics remain popular among specialists and often sell for well over $100. Die cracks develop after striking dies experience repeated stress during production. These fractures transfer raised lines onto the coins they strike. While minor die cracks are relatively common, larger examples crossing Lincoln's figure or the Capitol building attract stronger collector interest. Die chips occur when small pieces of the die break away, producing raised blobs of metal on the finished coin. Depending on their location and size, these varieties may command modest to substantial premiums. More dramatic die failures can produce retained cuts and major die breaks. As larger portions of the die deteriorate, entire sections of the coin lose their normal design while developing raised areas of metal. Such spectacular errors are uncommon and highly collectible. Collectors should also examine professional life pennies for missing copper plating, wrong planchet strikes, and other unusual production errors. Coins accidentally struck on planchets intended for foreign coins or different United States denominations represent some of the rarest and most valuable mistakes known within the Lincoln Cents series. Many beginning collectors mistakenly confuse machine doubling with true doubled dies. Machine doubling results from slight movement during the striking process and generally adds little or no value. Genuine doubled dies originate during die production and display distinctly separated design elements under magnification. Understanding this important distinction helps collectors make informed decisions when evaluating potential varieties. The professional life penny holds a special place within the Bicentennial series because it illustrates the years during which Lincoln transformed himself into a respected leader through education, discipline, and unwavering integrity. Rather than focusing solely on his presidency, this coin honors the years of preparation that made his later accomplishments possible. Collectors also appreciate the coin as part of the complete four-coin bicentennial collection. Together, the four reverse designs present a chronological biography of Abraham Lincoln, beginning with his humble birth, continuing through his education and professional achievements, and concluding with his presidency during one of the most challenging periods in American history. Proper preservation remains essential for maintaining long-term value. Collectors should always handle coins by their edges, avoid cleaning them under any circumstances, and store them in protective holders that shield them from moisture, fingerprints, and environmental contaminants. Original surfaces and natural mint luster remain among the most important characteristics affecting value. As more than a decade has passed since these coins entered circulation, pristine examples have become increasingly scarce. Many have accumulated wear through daily use, while others have suffered damage from improper handling or storage. This gradual reduction in the supply of premium quality coins continues to support collector demand and strengthen market values for the finest surviving examples. The 2009 Bicentennial Professional Life Penny stands as a tribute to ambition, education, integrity, and perseverance. Its meaningful design, rich historical background, impressive collector demand, fascinating mint errors, and growing scarcity in top condition have secured its place among the most important modern Lincoln Cents. Whether discovered in circulation, purchased from a coin dealer, or preserved in a certified collection, this remarkable coin reminds us that Abraham Lincoln's journey to greatness was built not only upon leadership, but also upon years of dedication, learning, and honest service. 2009 Bicentennial Presidency Penny. The fourth and final coin in the historic 2009 Lincoln Bicentennial Series brings Abraham Lincoln's extraordinary life story to its most defining chapter. After honoring his humble birth, his formative years, and his professional life, the final reverse design celebrates Lincoln's presidency during one of the most turbulent periods in American history. More than a simple 1-cent coin, the 2009 Bicentennial Presidency Penny symbolizes courage, leadership, and the determination to preserve a nation facing its greatest internal crisis. It serves as a lasting tribute to the man who guided the United States through the Civil War while laying the foundation for a stronger and more united country. Abraham Lincoln was elected the 16th President of the United States in November 1860. His election immediately intensified tensions between northern and southern states over the issue of slavery. Even before Lincoln officially took office on March 4, 1861, several southern states had announced their secession from the Union and formed the Confederate States of America. Within weeks of his inauguration, the Civil War began with the Confederate attack on Fort Sumter in South Carolina. Lincoln suddenly found himself leading a divided nation through a conflict unlike anything the United States had ever experienced. Throughout the war, Lincoln demonstrated remarkable resilience and determination. He faced military setbacks, political criticism, economic uncertainty, and unimaginable personal pressure, yet he remained committed to preserving the Union. His leadership gradually transformed the Civil War from a struggle to save the nation into a fight for freedom and equality, culminating in the issuance of the Emancipation Proclamation in 1863, which declared freedom for enslaved people in Confederate-controlled territories. His vision would ultimately shape the future of the United States and redefine the nation's ideals. The reverse design of the Presidency Penny reflects this pivotal period in American history through a powerful architectural image rather than a portrait of Lincoln himself. It features the United States Capitol dome under construction, symbolizing a nation still being built even as Civil War threatened to tear it apart. Construction on the Capitol dome continued throughout Lincoln's presidency despite the enormous challenges facing the country. Lincoln believed that continuing work on the Capitol represented confidence in the nation's future and demonstrated that the Union would endure. The unfinished Capitol dome carries profound symbolic meaning. It reminds collectors that while the country was incomplete and divided, Lincoln never abandoned hope that it could be restored stronger than before. The image reflects both the physical expansion of the Capitol and the moral progress taking place under Lincoln's leadership. The reverse was designed by Susan Gamble and sculpted by Joseph Minna. Every detail was carefully crafted to present one of the most recognizable buildings in American government during a defining moment in its history. The inscriptions United States of America, E Pluribus Unum, and 1 cent surround the central design, completing the final chapter of Lincoln's remarkable story. The obverse retains Victor David Brenner's timeless portrait of Abraham Lincoln that has appeared on the Lincoln Cent since 1909. The familiar image creates continuity across all 4 bicentennial designs while honoring more than a century of American coinage tradition. The inscriptions include Liberty, In God We Trust, the date 2009, and the appropriate mint mark for each coin. Like the previous bicentennial issues, circulation strike Presidency pennies were produced on copper-plated zinc planchets. Each coin weighs approximately 2.5 grams and contains a zinc core coated with a thin layer of copper. Although the appearance resembles earlier bronze cents, the composition reflects modern production methods adopted by the United States Mint in 1982. Collectors also had access to special numismatic versions struck in the original bronze alloy used for the first Lincoln Cents issued in 1909. These collector editions contain 95% copper with the remaining 5% consisting of tin and zinc, giving them a weight of approximately 3.11 grams. Because of their traditional composition and limited production, these coins remain especially popular among advanced collectors. The Philadelphia Mint produced approximately 129.6 million Presidency pennies, while the Denver Mint struck about 198 million examples. These figures are notably lower than the mintages for the first 3 bicentennial designs, making the Presidency Penny the lowest mintage circulation issue of the entire 2009 4-coin series from Philadelphia. This comparatively lower production has contributed to its strong collector appeal and long-term demand. The San Francisco Mint also struck proof versions for inclusion in annual proof sets. These coins were manufactured using polished dies and specially prepared planchets, creating mirror-like surfaces and razor-sharp details that distinguish them from circulation strikes. Proof collectors continue to prize these examples for their beauty and outstanding quality. Although millions of Presidency pennies entered circulation, relatively few have survived in exceptional condition. Modern coin production subjects freshly struck coins to contact with thousands of other coins during counting, packaging, and transportation. As a result, finding examples with flawless surfaces and strong original mint luster can be surprisingly difficult. Circulated examples typically remain worth face value or slightly more, especially when showing ordinary wear. Attractive, uncirculated examples generally sell for $1 to $5 depending on their condition and eye appeal. Coins certified as Mint State 65 often bring $10 to $20, while Mint State 66 examples regularly sell for $25 to $60. The greatest values belong to superbly preserved coins. Certified Mint State 67 examples frequently command well over $100, while Mint State 68 specimens have realized several $100s in major auctions. Particularly outstanding registry-quality coins have sold for more than $1,000 when collectors compete for the finest known examples. Proof versions also increase significantly in value as grades improve. Standard proof coins remain affordable, but flawless proof 70 deep cameo examples certified by professional grading services often command substantial premiums because of their perfect preservation and limited availability. One of the most exciting aspects of the Presidency Penny is the possibility of discovering mint errors. While the overwhelming majority of coins were struck correctly, production mistakes occasionally escaped quality control and entered circulation, creating highly collectible varieties. Off-center strikes remain among the most dramatic errors. These occur when the blank planchet is not properly centered beneath the dies before striking. Depending on how much of the design remains visible and whether the date can still be identified, these errors often sell for $50 to several $100s. Broad strikes occur when the retaining collar fails during the striking process. Without the collar to contain the expanding metal, the finished coin becomes wider than normal while retaining complete design details. These unusual pieces remain highly collectible. Double strikes represent another impressive category of mint error. A coin accidentally struck twice displays overlapping images that immediately attract attention. Strong offset double strikes are considerably scarcer than ordinary examples and often command significant premiums. Clipped planchets originate before striking when the blanking press overlaps a previously punched area of metal, leaving a curved section missing from the finished coin. Genuine clipped planchets displaying proper error characteristics are eagerly sought by collectors and can sell for well over $100 depending on their size and appearance. Die cracks develop naturally as striking dies wear over time. These fractures leave raised lines across the surface of the coin. Minor die cracks are relatively common, but dramatic examples extending across the Capitol dome or major inscriptions often attract much stronger collector interest. Die chips occur when tiny fragments break away from the die, producing raised blobs of metal on the finished coin. Depending on their location and prominence, these features may add modest or substantial premiums. More advanced die failures produce retained cuts and major die breaks. These dramatic errors occur when larger sections of the die fracture, leaving portions of the coin without normal design details while creating raised masses of metal. Such spectacular mint errors remain among the most valuable varieties sought by specialists. Collectors should also inspect Presidency pennies for missing copper plating, wrong planchet strikes, and other unusual production mistakes. Coins accidentally struck on planchets intended for other denominations or foreign coinage represent some of the rarest and most valuable errors in the modern Lincoln Cents series. One important point for beginning collectors is understanding the difference between machine doubling and genuine doubled dies. Machine doubling results from movement during striking and generally carries little additional value. True doubled dies originate during the die manufacturing process and display clearly separated design elements that remain visible under magnification. Learning this distinction helps collectors avoid common mistakes when evaluating potential varieties. The Presidency Penny occupies a unique place within the Lincoln Cents series because it marks the conclusion of the bicentennial program. Together with the birth and early childhood, formative years, and professional life designs, it completes a chronological biography told through American coinage. Few circulating coin programs have successfully combined history, art, education, and numismatics in such an engaging way. Collector demand for the complete 4-coin set has remained strong since its release. Many enthusiasts assemble examples from both the Philadelphia and Denver mints, along with proof versions and the special bronze collector issues. High-grade certified sets continue to attract competitive bidding, particularly when all 4 coins display exceptional quality and matching grades. Proper storage remains essential for preserving these modern collectibles. Coins should always be handled by their edges to avoid fingerprints and oils that can damage their surfaces. They should never be cleaned, as cleaning almost always reduces collector value by removing the original mint finish. Protective holders, archival quality albums, or certified grading slabs provide the best long-term protection against environmental damage. As the years continue to pass, pristine examples become increasingly difficult to locate. Many coins have entered circulation, accumulated wear, or suffered damage through improper storage. This gradual decline in available high-grade examples helps sustain collector interest and supports stronger market values for coins with outstanding preservation. The 2009 Bicentennial Presidency Penny represents far more than the final design in a commemorative series. It honors Abraham Lincoln's extraordinary leadership during one of the most challenging periods in American history, while symbolizing hope, perseverance, and national unity. Its historical importance, distinctive design, relatively lower mintage, collectible mint errors, and continuing popularity among numismatists have established it as one of the most significant modern Lincoln cents ever produced. Whether discovered in circulation, preserved in a proof set, or certified in top mint state condition, the Presidency Penny stands as a fitting conclusion to one of the most successful and meaningful commemorative coin programs in the history of the United States Mint. As collectors continue searching for exceptional examples, this remarkable 1-cent coin remains a lasting reminder that even the smallest piece of currency can preserve one of the greatest stories in American history.